Hello, class. Today we're going to have a very special lesson on DC Universe Classics, Wave 7, figure number 1, Ocean Warrior Aquaman. And when I say lesson, we're going to do the usual thing. We're going to look at it and talk about it. And then I'm going to talk about why this figure sucks. Because I'm even annoyed that I have to have it. At any rate, there he is in his packaging. There I got it at Silver Snail, which is awesome. Which is something else I need to rant about. Sorry, we'll do that when we look at the back of the package here. Let's see, this comes with the upper and middle torso of Atom Smasher, which we can see there, which is nice. And if we flip this around, we can see some of the other figures in the wave. So, we've got him, who we're talking about now, Kid Flash, Blue Beetle, Booster Gold, I like Booster Gold, Big Barda, which still confuses me, that name, and Captain Cold, and of course, the Flash. He is kind of a Flash, well, I won't say it's kind of a Flash-esque wave, but that's really only because of these two and him, right? So I guess it really isn't. Anyways, we put all these dudes together and we get Atom Smasher. Now, that little rant. This one was like 21, 22 bucks at the Comic Geek shop. All the rest of these ones were 10 bucks each, and him you just can't find. So why the hell is, you know, not too bad, cool character, cool character, cool character, cold character. That was a joke. Why are all these being discounted at 10 bucks and this jackass is still 22 when he's the least desirable one of the flippin' set? Sorry. It's just because I don't like Aquaman, because I think Aquaman sucks. Anyways. Ocean Warrior Aquaman. Biography. Found abandoned Prince Orin of Atlantis, which I think they found, right?
Yes.
Okay, my wife says yes. Was raised in the ways of the surface world and renamed by lighthouse keeper Arthur Curry. But in the water was where young Arthur truly thrived. In adulthood, he took the name Aquaman, because that's original. He could have called himself Waterman or Hydroman. And used his aquatic abilities to patrol the seven seas. The Aquatic Avengers, Jesus, renown soon earned him a place among the newly assembled Justice League of America, and he joined the Super Friends. Didn't he? I think so. Anyways. His statistics. First appearance was More Fun Comics number 72 in 1941. So again, another geezer, and More Fun Comics. Seriously. Okay. Names just sucked back then, I guess. His real name is Arthur Curry, or Orin. His occupation is Water Bearer of the Secret Sea. What the hell is that? I'm sure if I wikied it, I know, and you know what, I'm not gonna, because I don't care enough. And he's a former monarch, so he abdicated his throne, I guess. His base of operations is Poseidonus. And his special abilities is to breathe underwater at incredible depths. He's super strong, swims at tremendous speeds because he's super strong, and communicates with and controls undersea creatures. So there you go. Now, I'm pretty sure instead of Ocean Warrior Aquaman, they could have called him, hey, let's just reuse a mold and give it stupid colors Aquaman. I'm gonna guess he showed up sometime in the comics looking like this. I think it's stupid. I would have rather had a Batman clone. But at any rate, we're gonna open this up, and I'm going to talk more about Ocean Warrior Aquaman, and I'm probably going to make fun of him some more. So we'll be back in a second. Okay, we're back. I've gotten DC's Prince of Tides, who's holding onto his big spear there, out of his packaging, and so we can have a look at him. So I'll just do a quick 360 here. Now there's something that's annoying. I hate it when we have the two colors on the shoulder. Don't know what's up with that, but anyways. Go all the way around, and there he is. So, Ocean Warrior Aquaman, as best as I can tell, I did a little bit of looking on Wikipedia. He had an outfit like this in the mid-80s, and it was supposed to be, I think, aquatic camouflage or something, so he could, I don't know, be a spy, or I don't know what the hell he was doing. But anyways, I guess it was camouflage because, you know, in water you want to be blue-colored and stripy with some black. Even though the further down you go, you just need darker colors because there's no light anyway. So the whole thing seems kind of redundant. But anyways, there he is. Now his color scheme, since we started talking about it, you can see there's lots of kind of a darker blue. We've got this light blue, almost a baby blue, sky blue kind of color, mixed in with some white streaks here and there on his leg before we get some black. The black boot on that side and that kind of teal blue, bluish, baby blue on his other foot. And he's got gloves that don't match either, which kind of annoys me actually a great deal. And actually, if we look at his face, the sculpt for his face isn't too bad, which I'm guessing is probably the same as the original one. I'm not 100% sure, but it is pretty good. And his head, though, I always thought, was he supposed to be a blonde or a brunette? I'm not sure, but anyways, he's got kind of the brownish hair, but it looks like he's got blonde streaks in it. Dude is a streaker, and that's horrible, because streaking your hair, if you're a dude, in my opinion, is not good. So there he is. We'll look at maybe the trident more in a minute. But in terms of articulation, if we look at him, well, we can see the head's going to move all the way around. It's going to go up and down. He's got a lot of movement there. He can headbang with the, well, best of them. Anyways, the arm is going to rotate all the way around at the shoulder. It's going to go up and down. We can rotate the arm at the bicep there. We can bend the elbow, and we can turn the hand at the wrist. He's got that joint in the torso, so he can totally be tripping on drugs, and he can go forward. We can rotate his waist all the way around. His legs are going to go back, forward, out to the side. We can rotate at the thigh, bend at the knee there, and then we can bend at the ankle. So there we have him. Ocean Warrior Aquaman. You know what? Besides the fact that I think this look is stupid, and since I'm not a big Aquaman fan, I don't see the point of this one. Although, to be fair, they've probably never done a figure of Aquaman looking like this. I still would have liked the, what is it, Peter David version? I think that might have been nicer, just because he looked a little more badass then, but then I guess they'd have to do a new sculpt for the head, and they'd have to change one of his hands into a spear. I think it was his right one. I can't remember now. Because I don't care. But there you have it, I would have preferred that. But I guess now I can say I have an Aquaman figure in case I'm trying to build a Justice League, which I probably won't be. And he wouldn't be in it anyway. I'm sure I could find someone better to substitute for him. At any rate, the trident, come on, to me is more interesting than the rest of the figure itself. I don't know if I'm assuming this is like the second or third or fourth Aquaman figure. I'm going to assume the first one came with the trident as well. And the trident doesn't look that bad. It's a little bendy, which is good, because lets me bend it back into shape. You can see there it's got some impressive detail. We've got a starfish there, and the prongs are even kind of scaled and weathered. It looks like it's seen a few battles. And we've got a, well, it's supposed to be a gem, but it doesn't look that good, really. This little bit, I don't know what that's for. Seems a little impractical to me, and then we've got the end. It's not too bad. In terms of weapons, you know what, there's been worse things, and it gives him something that's moderately useful, even though I still don't really care too much. So I guess the question comes down to, Evil Professor, why would you buy this figure? That is an excellent question, for which I have a pretty simple, obvious answer. I am something of a completionist. I first started buying this wave. I don't remember which one. I think it's because I saw Blue Beetle and Booster Gold on sale somewhere, and I like Booster Gold, so I had to pick him up. And Blue Beetle was there as well, and he's not bad, so I figured, what the hell, pick him up. Well, the thing is, they came with pieces of a Collect and Connect figure. And if I'm not mistaken, that was for the Atom Smasher. Now, I have no particular love or dislike for Atom Smasher. I don't really know a whole lot about him. I saw him in, was it Blackest Night, when his brother got wasted? And I saw him in Justice League, where even though I don't think he actually said anything, he just got big and smashed things, which is what you should do when you're that big. But I have to say, I'm kind of wondering how good of a Build-A-Figure Atom Smasher is going to be, because there's really nothing special about the design itself, the mold. Like, you know, with Kilowog, he at least looked different, and Calabac, you know, had kind of unique shape and things like that. But I have a feeling Atom Smasher is just going to be a large, generic DCUC figure. So I'm actually kind of wondering about that, but I'm a completionist, so gonna have to catch them all anyway, sooner or later. But anyways, back to our friend Aquaman. You know what? This to me is the kind of figure that I would put alongside Shark from the Kilowog wave. I have no real reason to own this figure besides the fact that I want the piece of Atom Smasher. I'm not a big fan of Aquaman. The figure is totally uninteresting to me. The most interesting part is his accessory, which is pretty sad. And you know what? I would have skipped it otherwise. It's like, why couldn't he come with a figure stand? God damn it. Oh well. At any rate, if I'm just going to give this figure a grade, I was going to give it a... I will give it a grade of, you know what, C-. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, I think the color scheme is kind of stupid, and I don't really care for Aquaman, and it's just a blatant use of another mold. Now, I also understand, people like to say it, most DCU figures are that way, the generic mold with a different head or something, and I get that. But there's just nothing that really strikes me about this figure at all. Even the head isn't that interesting. The shark, as horrible a figure as that was, he at least had a very, very interesting head sculpt. And Aquaman, to me, just doesn't really even have that. It's generic hero head, and who gives a shit? So yeah, he gets a C-. Not thrilled. Said, just want a piece of Atom Smasher. If you're not looking to collect Atom Smasher, I would pass on this one, unless you're one of the 2 people who like Aquaman. In which case, yeah, I guess you should pick him up. Because I don't think there's been a figure where he's looked like this before. And if, you know, the powers that be are willing, never will again. At any rate, that's my kind of review/rant about Aquaman, Ocean Warrior Aquaman. Thank you very much. Class is dismissed.